Hello, this is Alicia Johnson, video number 2 on Unlikely Courage / Alicia Johnson. Yes, many of you may have noticed that I did change the name, and there are a couple reasons for that. I'll just tell you really quick. It's part of my brand. It's something that I've been working on. It's also kind of explains how I got to where I'm at. Please keep hashtagging. Check out my Instagram. You'll find it under my name, Alicia Johnson, and then Unlikely Courage. And you'll see pictures of my 3 babies, my 3 dogs. You'll meet them. They're a big part of my life. So anyway, Unlikely Courage / Alicia Johnson, the new name of my channel. It's gonna stick. I actually bought the web domain, so at some point over the next, I don't know how long, but some point along this whole everything book stuff, speaking stuff that I'm doing. Really exciting news. Next video, I'm going to talk about my website that's going to be launched within the next week or so. And it's gonna have the title of my book. So get excited. Okay, that introduction all set. Okay, my first video release. Oh my gosh, I have so many thank yous. First of all, I'm going to thank Shanny again. I was so nervous to do this whole video thing. In fact, I had people talking to me for a long time saying you have to do a video, and I'd watch videos and I'd get scared and I didn't want to do it. And I had a little Mac computer and blah 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 blah. And Shanny has helped me to learn how to do this whole thing. I mean, of course I get nervous, but she's got things set up where I feel comfortable, and I'm really happy about the way my first video turned out, and you guys have been so wonderful and kind. So thank me. I'm thanking you because
thank them, not me.
Yes, but I'm thanking them too. But Shanny, you helped make this possible, and oh my gosh, the rallying, the love, the support. Those of you who are not Shanny fannies yet, share the love. Help her hit 100,000 followers. Let's keep this going and help with the whole eating disorder and mental illness thing. It's really important. So anyway, thank you, Shanny.
You're welcome.
I'm very excited.
I love you. I'm very, very, very beyond proud of you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
You're the best.
Exciting things are happening, guys.
Crazy exciting
Stay
things are
tuned.
happening. Yeah, I'm kind of, I've been telling her little secrets, which I can't
Yeah.
share with you.
Yeah.
Sorry, don't hate me. Please don't unsubscribe. You'll learn these secrets at some point.
You will.
Yeah, big things are happening.
Exciting.
Thanks to Shanny. Like and subscribe. And okay, huge thank you to you guys. I mean, honestly, the responses, the kind words, telling people, communicating with me. I want to know what you want to hear about. Like Misa, you wanted to hear about some of my high school experiences, some of my life experiences. I will share those. You guys are giving me some awesome ideas, and I want to know what I can give to you. I want to know how, you're gonna hear things from a 43-year-old. That's how old I am. And side note, thank you for guessing someone who said I was 50.
But can I just say, you guys cheated so hard. Somebody knew that you were 43 years old, and they put it in the comments before it was even time to... She does not look great. She does not look great.
People have told me my whole life that I don't look my age. I went out with a 25-year-old last year. Anyway, so...
She looks 27.
But that's okay.
No older.
I embrace it, and then I kind of think, to make myself feel better, I Googled myself, because you guys are all smart like that, and I'm not saying that you guys Googled me, but I'm guessing you maybe did. Say yes. Make me feel better. Anyway, so yeah, I'm 43. I'm embracing it. I'm a 43-year-old. I have 3 dogs, and someday I'm gonna have a family in some way. So yeah, thanks for playing. You Googled me, right? Anyway, doesn't matter. Also, apologies. I can't remember who said the be brave and live thing. I got so many awesome comments on like how to end my videos, and I kind of morphed them together with some things, and I can't remember who said the be brave and live, and because I'm going to start using that. The tagline I have right now is let your fears inspire you to be brave and live. So if you don't mind raising your hand a little bit truthfully, saying, hey, yeah, it was me, that would be awesome. Because I want to give credit to where credit is due. So, and how, like, Shanny was telling me how much she loves her followers, and in 5 days' time, I get it. Like, you guys are amazing. So thank you. Thank you for the warm welcome. Thank you for helping me to get more excited about doing my videos. And I've had people ask me for more, which made me feel even better. Be like, oh, I gotta get more done. Anyway, really excited to be here. So with that, my topic for today is, I'm going to give you a little timeline of my life. I've been thinking all week about what to share with you. one of my biggest, the topic for my book is how I faced one of my biggest fears to gain freedom. There's a lot more that goes into it, and so I'm just going to tell you a little bit about my life. I have my little scrapbook that my mom made for me here, more as a reference for myself. I'll show you pictures eventually. Let me just kind of give you a little bit of insight into what it's like to be a daughter of someone who was murdered. It's only been the past 14 years that I've let myself grieve. Yeah, that. Oh, I've been grieving more for like 25, 26, but just, I used to make fun of people or be concerned about people who look back on their childhood and let things be, affect them. Because quite frankly, in today's society, it seems to be kind of standard, unwritten rule, maybe it's written, I don't know, that if you're not over something, if you're still hanging on to something from your childhood, you're broken, there's something incredibly wrong with you, and you're not allowed to move forward. Or you need help, or blah, blah, blah. I mean, so many different things where it's embarrassing to own the things that hurt you. And the more I get into this, the more I realize that owning the things that have hurt you is the first step to letting them go. So, anyway, about 14 years ago, I started looking back on my life, and oh my gosh, like, I allowed myself to see that my dad's death drastically impacted my life. So I'm going to share a little bit of that with you. But to sum up what that means, like the drastic impact of my life, post-traumatic stress disorder. About 5 years ago, I was diagnosed by a therapist who wide-eyed looked at me and said, "You've been carrying this with you your entire life." Whew. Oh my gosh. Like, having a name for these awful feelings and these awful thoughts that you have about yourself, as many of you know, is the biggest relief. And it's not a scapegoat or anything like that, but it's being able to be like, this hurts, this is why, this is what I can do about it. So let's start from when I was 2 years old. Don't have any memories that far back, but pretty dang close. But some of the feelings that I had as a child that I still, they're so real, I can still live in them right now. I felt responsible for everybody that I loved. And that responsibility came from the fact that if I wasn't taking care of them, if I wasn't aware of them, that meant they were going to die in a horrible, tragic way. I don't remember hearing that my dad died, but I remember being afraid of everything. And it's interesting because for the longest time, I thought that I was alone in that. And then, I'm actually writing a blog post on this on my website, but I'll share this. I will share it, in fact. Anyway, when I went to my first homicide class at TAPS, I was looking into the eyes of so many people, and I recognized what they were feeling. It was the darkest, heaviest, most powerful experiences I've ever had up to this. Well, no, that's kind of dramatic, but it was such a dark, heavy experience, and yet we laid everything out on the table, and I walked out of that room feeling lighter and feeling understood. And I had feelings that I didn't know that I had, but being able to release them and talk about them and connect with people who understood this deep-rooted hidden pain that I was carrying, I realized for the first time that I wasn't alone and that there wasn't something wrong with me. So then fast forward to a year ago, just last year, I've been working on my speaking and working on my networking. I mean, I've been working on my book for 7 years. So this isn't just a minor thing. But a year ago, I became friends with Ashley Harmon Burke. She's the one who does the A Reason to Stand conference. Shanny and I are going to be on her panel here on November 4th. We'll share more information about that. Her husband was murdered by his girlfriend's husband, leaving her with 5 teeny tiny, beautiful, perfect kids. And so anyway, last year we had become friends, and we were on our way down to one of her conferences in St. George, and I had met her kids for the first time, and we were hanging out and just having fun. And then we stopped at a rest stop, stopped at Wendy's, and I noticed how they interacted. and the way they carried themselves and the way they looked around at their settings and things like that. And I saw me. And long story short, I carried characteristics that are very common with people who have been impacted by a violent crime, people who have lost loved ones to homicide. And I'll get into that a little bit more. But anyway, PTSD is a very real thing, and I'm even more determined and excited to reach out and hopefully, connect with some of you, my followers, and help you realize that guess what, you're normal, you're healthy, you can be happy, and just because you might feel some terror, there are ways to live with it. And I'm still learning how to live with those deep-rooted terrors that still come up. You don't stop living. That's where the unlikely courage comes from, to be brave and live and move forward, despite the fact that you think that there's somebody that's going to come in and shoot you up in a movie theater. Just because it happened once, most people think it's not going to happen again unless it's happened to you. And it can happen every day. And that's something that, that I have carried with me that I'm getting past. And honestly, I am happy. I'm more happy now that I know that I have these terrors and I know how to combat them. It doesn't mean I'm not waiting till they're gone to be happy. I just know that it's something that I get to face. So, anyway, 3 years old, worried about everybody. Anytime my mom would leave, I would pray. I would hold my breath and wait for her to come home, to hear the garage door shut, and then I'd finally be able to go to sleep. A lot of people are chronic worriers. I was a big one beginning from the time I was a little teeny kid. My mom got married again when I was 6 years old. People were congratulating me, "You've got a new dad. Isn't that great?" And my stepdad is wonderful. I can't imagine my life without my 6 brothers. I've got one full brother from my first dad, and then 5 half brothers, and they're my brothers. There's no half about them. They are my brothers, and I love them dearly. But I am going to be completely honest with the fact that certain things, like taking my dad's picture down the day of my mom's wedding, I remember having these feelings of confusion and sadness, and I also remember thinking, I don't remember Daddy, so I don't have the right to miss him. That's a whole other topic for another video. That's part of what I carried though. Anyway, so here I'm dealing with identity issues, feelings of terror, feelings of grief that I didn't realize, and so I turned to food for comfort. As my brothers were being born one after another, I felt even more and more different, more and more like I didn't belong. And long story short there, by the time I was in 7th grade, I was wearing the same ugly pink sweatshirt to school every single day. I hated myself. I wanted to kill myself. I was overweight. I had been teased for being overweight. It was a really hard time becoming addicted to food and building this dysfunctional relationship with food. At the end of my 7th grade year, my mom sent me to live with my aunts, and I went to fat camp for a month. Again, another crazy story, but I lost 13 pounds. We moved to another town in Utah County, and I was devastated. It was the end of my world, and it was the end of an ugly world because I'd lost weight. I was no longer around people who remembered that chubby nerd, and so it was a great fresh start. I still was kind of awkward in 8th grade. By 9th grade, I had my growth spurt, and I didn't think I was all that or anything like that, but I looked completely different and continued to carry feelings of inadequacy, feelings of insecurity, and I couldn't really understand why. I didn't date like my friends did. I knew that there were good things about me, but I didn't like myself. And so, and I'm not trying to make you guys feel sorry for me. I'm just telling the truth about how I lived. And another reason why I'm so passionate about getting my story out there, about raising awareness for PTSD, about helping men, women, children to really, not just in a cliche kind of way, love yourself, but to really understand how. Because I didn't know how for the longest time. And the crazy thing is, honestly, I was scouted to model at 26 years old, and I still didn't feel like I was good enough. And it was all sorts of things, all sorts of trying to change things, and blah blah blah, all these external things I was trying to. And for me, what it took was having the courage to face the hardest, the scariest thing of my life, which was the details behind how my dad died. And that's where I get to stop. I'm going to share a little bit more about the emotions and things like that. I am going to get more into eating disorder issues and abuse and things that that have been byproducts of PTSD, and also how to overcome them. You know, I'm not saying my life is perfect, but my life is good, and I'm really excited. I mean, this whole thing, this YouTube thing, is a really exciting, good part of my life. This book is an amazing part of my life. So, with that said, I'm going to close. I'm going to keep this a little bit shorter, but I'm really excited to move forward on this. I do want to know what you guys want to hear about. I'll be sharing little bits and pieces of things. I have to clear them through my co-author, and one of these days, a publisher. You guys, this is exciting. There's some great things, and I want to thank you for helping me get to where I'm going to be with this book and helping victims of homicide, victims of anything. You know, it's okay to own the fact that you've been hurt and realize that you deserve to heal. Hopefully, pretty much not confirmed. Yeah, it's pretty much confirmed. I'm gonna make a video here or live stream with Ashley Burke. She's coming out here for that conference. Those of you in Utah County, November 4th, A Reason to Stand. I am gonna post a link down here. Come hear Shanny, come hear me, come hear Ashley. But we're gonna make a video and Ashley's gonna be in it. So really cool, powerful people combining to help change lives. I'm so excited. So thank you so much for watching Unlikely Courage with Alicia Johnson. And I'm just reminding you to be inspired by your fears and be brave and live.